Hi, I'm Rob.
I'm Katie.
And we're
Livin' Lovin' Disney.
Come join us on our podcast where we talk about all things Disney.
Like our trips and cruises, our DVC resorts, tours of the park, after-hour parties, and our family's crazy Disney life.
We've got some older episodes for you to listen to and get to know us a little bit.
Keep on dreaming.
So, I'm sure you guys know this, but we shocked a bunch of people when we were in line waiting for a ride with this. So with the Genie Plus, with the Lightning Lane, so when you schedule a ride, a lot of people think that you have to wait until you've used that Lightning Lane until you can book your next one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But actually the rule is once you've scheduled one Lightning Lane, you have to wait 2 hours and then you can book another one.
Right.
The reason that's really important is because if it's noon and you schedule the Lightning Lane at 7, people think, well, I can't schedule another one until it's after 7. But really at 2 o'clock, you can schedule another one. And then at 4 o'clock, you can schedule another one. So this is probably the best tip that we got from this Provost Park Pass guy on YouTube was whenever you book a Lightning Lane, hit book and then say, hey Siri, set a timer for 2 hours. Don't actually do that, Siri. It just did. But that's the best thing to do. And then when your alarm goes off, you go back on and you schedule your next one. And a lot of people were shocked by that.
Yeah, we didn't know that
like,
the first time either.
6 hours.
Yeah, and I was like, this
don't
is
make
a
it very
bunch of
clear
crap the first time.
Yeah.
Because they don't make it clear. And then I watched some video on it and saw that, and I'm like, hey. So the next time we did it, I was booking every 2 hours, and we were able to use it more efficiently.
Yep, exactly. So when we first got into Disneyland, we scheduled, I think it was like Space Mountain or something, and then wait 2 hours and you book your next one. So, we did Space Mountain. Oh no, actually I think we did the parade first. We got in line for the parade, and did that. We got Mickey bars or whatever they're called,
Right.
And then we did the parade. Sophia loved the parade. It was so much fun. And pretty crowded. You could not really, you were like, at any given point, you were like 6-7 people deep. So, luckily I was able to see a little bit, but Sophia was like, whoa. But we watched the parade go by, and then we did Space Mountain, which, obviously classic. And then, gosh, at this point it got a little blurry because we just we did Indiana Jones, we did Thunder Mountain, we did Splash Mountain, we did Matterhorn. We just kind of hit everything, toward the end of the night. And all of them, obviously, that's like they're going to change it to Princess and the Frog.
Yeah,
I think you guys are frozen.
Right. Are we frozen?
Are you there?
You're frozen.
I can hear you, Jake. And just your video's frozen.
Yeah. Are you there?
Now,
you there?
now you're good. You're good.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I asked you a question, and then you guys are just like,
oh, really?
Hello? I was just going to say about Splash Mountain, they're going to change it to Princess and the Frog for its theme, right?
Correct.
Right.
But they haven't done anything yet. Because I was on it, and I was kind of keeping my eyes out. Okay.
They haven't switched over to Disneyland yet. They're doing one at a time.
Yeah, okay.
They should have done that in reverse and did Disneyland first. Because it fits in Disneyland. It's in that Orleans area. It fits there.
Right.
It doesn't fit in Disney World, but they're doing Disney World first.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of keeping my eyes peeled. I was like, have they changed anything yet? But I don't think they had.
Yeah.
But that was really fun. We were in our log,
Did you hear
Sophia
that?
and I were in the back.
Splash Mountain's fun. Splash Mountain, fun. Very right.
What, do people not think it's fun or something?
Well,
Well, they think it's very racial. So
everybody likes Splash Mountain.
Yeah. It'll still be a fun ride regardless.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be cool to have Prince and the Frog, We don't really have any,
they'll
we don't have any
do a
Princess and the
good
Frog.
job with it, I think.
the animation
it'll
will
be
be
really
good.
cool.
The ride's the same. I just read the updated story on it. Yeah. I don't know if I connect the whole story or
Their backstory.
their backstory on it really fits, but it's all right. It's not for me.
I'm sure they'll do a good job, though.
I will be the one, just like on Pirates of the Caribbean. Every time I ride through and I hit the spot, I go, "Me wants the redhead," because I'm in rebuttal. So, I'll be singing Zippity Doo Dah all the way through that ride for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because it's just me. It's
Yeah.
my ride.
So how many
Classic.
times
Yeah,
did you
it's
guys
definitely
ride that?
classic.
Did you ride that?
Well, we
multiple
just
times?
did Splash Mountain once, and we
Okay.
rode it at like 9 p.m. or something. So we were like
Okay.
trying not to get wet. We're like,
That's when you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
wet.
So we rode it. Sophia and I in the back, and then I think there were 3 brothers were in front of us, and the kid in the front just got totally soaked, man. He was totally soaked, and it was, like I said, it wasn't a warm day. It was like
Right.
60, and when it got 9-10 o'clock, it was like low 50s.
Right.
So we were like, we do not want to get wet, but there was no line. I mean, this is the funny thing, we had the lightning lane for a lot of these, but you didn't even need them at this point because nobody rides Splash Mountain at night because no one wants to get soaked.
Right.
And we did Indiana Jones. We just walked right on Indiana Jones, even though we had a lightning lane. But it just wasn't very crowded at nighttime.
That's crazy. That's kind of crazy, but it was.
It was
23rd of December or something.
Christmas
people went
Eve.
home.
Christmas Eve. Yeah, so I
That's
think maybe
interesting.
for that, but generally speaking, the whole day it was very crowded. Like when you're
Okay.
moving through, New Orleans, you were shoulder to shoulder. I mean, Sophia and I were holding our hands, trying not to get lost. I mean, it was slammed for sure. But
Okay.
but some of these rides that we were riding later, like I said, we finally hit some of these, Matterhorn and Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain. We hit them late. So anyway, so one big thing I want to talk about is Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
So have you guys ridden this ride?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this ride was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was. I did not do my homework on anything on Galaxy's Edge, or whatever. What is it called again?
Galaxy's
Isn't that what it's
Edge.
called? Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, and I'm a big Star Wars fan, but just everything else we wanted to do. I mean, it's just impossible to do Disneyland California Adventure in one day. So we knew that we set the expectation we were going to miss a bunch of stuff. But we weren't sure if we were going to do this, but we were hearing from people, it's incredible, blah, blah, blah. And we got really lucky. So what happened was, I go onto my lightning lane. That's one ride. If you want to go on Rise of the Resistance, first thing you get into the park, you better book your lightning lane because those things go real quick.
Yep.
So we checked at like 6 p.m. or something, and they were totally gone. And we're like, oh, whatever. We were coming from the parade, and they had the ride closed down. And we just happened to be kind of walking past. And we're like, oh, what's going on? We saw a big crowd. They had the queue actually cut off. So there wasn't a line. It was just a mob of people.
Yep.
And we asked somebody, hey, what's going on? And, can you do a lightning lane still? They said, oh, no, we closed down the ride. And then everybody went to the parade. And now we're just about to open it. And we're like, oh. And then right as she said that, the gate came up and everyone just swarming in there. And I just looked at somebody, should we get in line? Yeah, sure, let's do it. So we did not use a lightning lane.
Just jumped in.
We just
Good
jumped
timing.
in. We still ended up waiting about an hour and a half, but worth every single minute.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was fun because when we were in line, we made good friends with people in front of us, people behind us, and we had a good time chatting with everybody. And the thing I like about that one, it's newer. You got seats along the way, place to sit down. If you remember when you kind of go into the cave, there's these long rocks, that are benches that you can sit on, which is nice. But yeah, I honestly did not know what to expect. This is the funny thing about that ride. The whole ride, Sophia and I, well, I'll say this: a lady that was like a few people away from us came up to us and, "Oh, is this ride have a lot of, is it fast? Is there drops, loop-de-loops, all this stuff?" And Sophia and I were like, "Yeah, it's like pretty fast. Like there's like a loop-de-loop, whatever." Right? Okay. So this is what happened. It wasn't until the ride was finished that we realized that we thought. So we got this all mixed up. We thought that Rise of the Resistance was Hyperspace Mountain from Disneyland Paris.
Oh,
really?
gosh.
the whole
okay.
time, because we knew that we had ridden a Star Wars one that was really fun that people talked about, but we hadn't. So we thought that when we went that summer with some friends, that's the ride that we rode. But it was
Right.
actually like a couple months before in Disneyland Paris. And I think we talked about this when we talked, about the
That's so
Disneyland
funny.
Paris episode, is Hyperspace Mountain in Disneyland Paris. It's a blast. I mean, it's like Space Mountain. The things come over your shoulder and you're just flying through. It's basically Space Mountain, but there's just a bunch of X-Wings and TIE fighters and I mean, and it was one of the
Intense.
funnest rides I've ever been on.
Cool.
It was so much fun, really cool. But the whole time we thought that was this. It was
So
Rise
you
of the
got,
Resistance.
so you got surprised.
So we were so confused the whole time. I was like in the ride and I'm like, what the heck is going on?
What's with these stormtroopers?
Are we still in
Yeah, it's
Disneyland?
more of a, I mean, really it's more of a simulator, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
is what that ride is. So I was freaking confused the whole time. I don't remember this. But regardless, it was so much fun, so cool what they've done with that, you know. You get sucked in and, you get caught in the tractor beam. And then, the doors open and, you have cast members role playing as First Order. And, all the stormtroopers, which, they have a few that are kind of adjusting or moving their head to kind of give out, animatronics, trying to give off the impression that they're real. But man, that was an incredible ride.
Real.
Did you give them attitude?
Yeah, did you give the actors attitude?
Come on. Did you
when
give
they
the
were
actors any attitude?
Shut up.
And,
Shut up. Rebel.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
time they
they give
harass
you
me for
attitude.
Mickey shirts, they give me hell every time, and it's like I am not the droid you're looking for.
No, I was just drinking it in. It was really fun. And then, when you're in the prison cell and they're, the guy, lightsaber comes through and
That's
cuts it
pretty
open
cool.
and, the wall comes out and then the real incredible part of the ride starts when you get into those little carts and you're escaping right from this hangar and you're going under the, whatever those, what do they call it? AT&Ts or
Isn't that
whatever.
cool when you go into those things?
I mean, the things are just absolutely massive.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, that's just scale right there. You get shot at, and I mean, I thought it was really cool when Kylo Ren uses the Force, pulls you in,
Right.
and then he gets hit from behind, and then you have the impression that that the wind is sucking and the wind's blowing, and then you go past that big window. Right, the screen it makes it look like there's the battle
That's
outside,
so cool.
and you really feel like you're in the movie. So I was really, really impressed with that ride. Sophia and I definitely said that was the winner of the day. That was freaking incredible. We really, really enjoyed that ride, and we just kind of got lucky walking by because as soon as it opened and we got in, it just. I mean, it was just flooding, and it was going out of the queue down the street there, and it was definitely a 3-hour wait like that, and it was probably that way all day too.
I'm sure.
So,
when we first did it, it broke down at least 3 or 4 times on us, and we had our lightning lane. We had our pass.
We get to the part where right before you go into the cell or whatever, where the ends in there. Or
when you're waiting on your color, they tell you to wait on your color.
And we got exited out every time.
It'd break down right there.
Right there, or when we were in the cell, they would come and take us back out of the cell. And I'm like, we've been taken out of here several times, but they kept, give us a pass to come back, and we would come back and try again.
So you had to leave the ride completely. It wasn't go back to the last room. I mean, it was like we're shutting down for an hour.
Yeah, they would just shut down, and they would send you a message when the ride was back up. And you could come and get back into the queue, into the fast lane to get right on.
Yeah,
right.
But I was like, wouldn't it have been cool if during that time period, because it was breaking down like crazy, I said they should have had, Chewbacca or some of the characters come in and rescue you. We're here to rescue you. And they take you out,
Stay in character.
And rescue you out. And then they say, hey, get back on. We actually had, but it would have been cool to kind of throw that in there.
Yeah, or even just kind of treat you with, maybe get a couple characters over there or something so you can hang out or do some pictures with characters while
you guys get to go on the Millennium Falcon?
No, we didn't do the Smuggler's Run. I think that one's called.
Too.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't get to do that one. Yeah, I mean, as far as rides, I think everything I said is pretty much all the rides that we were able to do. We missed out on a ton of rides, obviously. I mean, like I said, one day trying to pack it in during the holidays.
It's a lot to do.
Was pretty crazy.
Sounds like
Yeah.
you did pretty good though.
Yeah, we got some food. We did a mobile order. Literally, it was like 11:50, I think. We did the Galactic Grill,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was not very good. I think it was just they were closing down for the day, and
You got a
we
dried
just snuck
burger.
in there. We got a dry burger, some cold fries, but it was still food, and we were really hungry at that point because we hadn't eaten for a little while. So we did that, and then for the last ride of the day, we didn't necessarily plan this, but it was like the only thing that was like still taking people was the Buzz Lightyear. That one. But it was fun, Sophia and I were competing, and we getting all the points, and I smoked her. It's not a big deal, but
I kill him on Toy Story. It's all good. I can't see that.
But yeah,
thing
that's what we ended on.
The other one.
Yeah, that's what we ended on, and then we went to. I think we were in the park until about 12:30 because they close everything down at midnight, but you're kind of still making your way out. And then, Main Street, a lot of the stores on Main Street are open until 1. So we got a few more merch. I got a long sleeve. It's kind of the classic. I felt like a lot of people were wearing them where it's just like that D in the front and it says established 1965 and on the back it says Disneyland Resort.
Yeah.
I felt like everybody was wearing those. So Sophia really wanted me to get one of those. I mean, it's just a long sleeve shirt, but it was $80. I was like, whoo.
Yeah,
so we ended up using up all of our plasma money. We ended up using up all of our plasma money, and then we had to pay out of pocket like $40. But not bad, paying out of pocket $40 for we ate several times, got a lot of souvenirs. So that was pretty much the day. We caught an Uber back to the house. It was like $40. We got home at like 2 a.m. Maybe 1:30. So. But yeah, that was the day. We just had such a fun time, great pictures, rode all the, the big rides that we really wanted to. And I feel like for the circumstances, we just did, we had a lot of fun as best we could.
So you did this during the Christmas season. Did you like all the Christmas decorations and stuff? Did they have like Christmas music piping through everywhere? Did you like that?
So I remember us being a little, not underwhelmed, but just, like as far as Christmas decorations go, it was pretty subtle, It wasn't like, whoa, I'm here during Christmas time. They had a few really big, beautiful trees, and then people were taking pictures. They had a bunch of photographers right by the trees. And then the rest of it was just little wreaths here and the Christmas lights there. And, but for the most part, it was still very subtle. I can't remember if they were playing a bunch of Christmas music or if it was still just normal Disneyland music, but it felt like Christmas, but it definitely wasn't overbearing. I think they were really trying to stay true to like, this is still Disneyland and we want it all to be Disney, but we'll throw a few decorations up here and there. We didn't see any characters while we were there. Well, we saw some, but we didn't wait in line and like take pictures with any. But yeah, it was cool to go during Christmas time, It's fun. It's fun when you go during the holidays. It just feels extra special. You feel like, holiday spirit, So, but that was the day.
Yeah, we were walking around in Disney World and they playing music. All they played was Disney pop Christmas Disney music. Okay. So it wasn't classic Disney music or classic Christmas music, but it was 24/7 everywhere you went. And he was like, enough with the Christmas music. Stop. I just want to hear, Main Street music. I want to hear the ride music. I just want to do this.
Wait, this was at Disney World?
At Disney World. And it's pretty thick with Christmas. I mean, it's decorated to the nines.
Oh, yeah.
Over there.
I wonder if somebody else would have a different opinion than me. That was just my opinion. I was like, it's pretty subtle. Like, it wasn't like way overbearing. I don't know. But maybe somebody else would say, no, it
could have been elsewhere.
Yeah.
Really
like, I can't even remember music. I can't remember at all, like, music that was playing. So I can't even speak to that. But, anyway. That's pretty much it. I'm trying to think of any other little details, but that was, Sophia got a really pretty journal at one of the stores, and I don't think if we had any other food. We didn't have a Dole Whip, which was sad. We never had a Dole Whip, which is kind of like you gotta have a Dole Whip there. But we did get 3 or 4 churros. Okay. We did get 3 or 4 churros.
They're better at Disneyland than Disney World, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like over. Like, I love churros. Like I like churros, but yeah, they were okay. But Sophia was like in love with the churros.
Of course.
So, we did get a pretzel. That's right. We got a Mickey shaped pretzel in Tomorrowland, and Sophia she took a few bites and said, "This is awful," and I just ate the rest. So, I think that was a little later. Let's see what time that was. Oh no, that was at 6 o'clock. That was still pretty early. It got dark really early. That was the weird thing. Was you're in Disneyland, It's dark, and you're like, okay, it's dark. So I feel like, the night's coming to an end. Or like, we still have another 6 hours or something.
Yeah, it's getting dark at 5.
7 hours. Yeah, 5:30. 5:30. It was like black. So,
wow.
Well, it sounds like you guys had a great time. I mean, you did pretty good, I think, considering just the 1-day thing. You got to see. You got some stuff you can go back to sometime that you haven't ridden.
Yeah.
That's good. That's always a plus. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like I told you, we're going to go to Universal next month with the family. And I've never been to Universal Studios Hollywood, so that'll be fun. But I'm getting the impression as I watch videos that it's very similar to like Rise of the Resistance, where there's a lot of like simulators.
There's a ton of simulated rides.
Yeah, there's a lot of simulated rides.
If they lure you onto the Simpson ride,
I don't know if they have Simpson ride there.
If they have
they have Simpson, they have like Simpson Land, but to tell you the truth, I've never had any interest in the Simpsons. I've never watched the Simpsons, I don't think any of us will be.
That ride is too long. It's a good ride, but it's
I'm just telling you, Jacob, you're gonna have if you got motion sickness, you better do your thing because
I'm gonna do the gym. I mean,
they get you worse than the roller coasters. But they do have some good rides, some good roller coasters too.
Yeah.
A lot of the simulators we found feel like they're on the same track, just a different video playing.
Different story.
After a while, you're kind of like, okay, all these simulating things are on the same track.
But then again, I haven't been. I mean, they got Harry Potter there, but it's not as big as the Orlando one.
You don't have the dragon and all that.
But then you guys got the Mario thing going on there.
Yeah, see that's something that's really cool. They're opening Super Nintendo World, which the only other one in the world is actually in Japan.
Right.
So we're really looking forward to that one. That one's very interactive.
Have to have it's very on that one. I mean, it's not Disney, but that would be a good.
Not like we haven't talked about Universal.
That'd be a fun to review too.
Yeah,
I told Kurt you're going. He's like, arr.
I know he was grumbling.
Really?
Yeah,
he's been a brother before me.
Yeah. And then
it's gonna be pretty cool.
We'll be in Disneyland in April. Because Aaliyah is in the marching band, we'll be marching down Main Street with our band.
Yeah.
And they are, it's going to be very cool.
Are you going to be there for a few days or is it just the one day or what?
No, the 14th through the 18th. They will be there.
All that time is Disneyland?
Yeah, they're going to go behind the scenes and work with the
master musician. They get to play music.
Yeah, they get to play music to a movie. So it's like a soundtrack.
Cool. Record it.
So they go through that whole process, how they do that and stuff. So that would be a cool experience for the band.
Very much so, yeah.
So they get to do that.
And they're playing Aladdin from the Aladdin movie. Wah, 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 wah. Our big band is going to play that, and they're playing the whole song, not just a little clip of it. They're going to play the whole song.
And they get to put
march.
it to the movie, and then they get to watch them.
Watch it with their music.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. They're going to.
That's going to be really cool.
So they're super excited, and they're putting in dance moves, so they'll turn towards the crowd, show off, and they're going to be big anyway. Because you see bands go marching by down there, they're nothing like our band is humongous.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be quite a production. And they're super excited. The first time to travel after 3 years, they finally get to go somewhere.
Right.
So they're so excited to go. So
I always thought something like that. Going with a sports team or music group or something, going with a big group of friends like that to Disneyland, any amusement park. Man, I'm so bummed I never got to do that. I mean, in Oregon, you don't have anything nearby that's even remotely like that. You don't have any amusement parks. But I always thought, man, going to like Disneyland with group of buddies in high school would have been so freaking fun, man.
Yeah, we'll be there if she wants to hang with us. Chances are she won't, but hey, we don't care. We're in Disney.
She'll meet up with you and go, buy me lunch or something.
Yeah, probably.
See ya, Dad.
Probably. See ya.
You're on your own.
It just depends. Sometimes she's not real, she has a couple of friends, and more likely she'll bring her friends and come hang out with us. Because she hangs out with us like at band most of the time anyway. She comes and hangs with me instead of her friends. So you never know.
So you guys will be there those exact dates too? Or are you going to be there longer or get there earlier? Or?
No, same time. We'll go up
Where
at
are
the
you
same
staying?
time as her. I haven't booked it yet. I was trying to stay at the Majestic, but it's booked. So I've got to get online today and finish booking that part.
What other options? Well, no, yeah, you got some options. Well,
There's all.
yeah. Is there quite a few over there?
There's tons of different
I'm not
hotels
real
and
familiar.
places you could stay in California. That's easy side. I've got a wait list for DVC
but that will
if that
be for-
came through, but
Well, that's what I'm wondering. If there's any Disney Vacation Club options over there.
There is, but
There is.
there's chance. I mean, the
Yeah.
chances of us getting in there is next to none.
yeah, it's like finding a 4-leaf clover. It's hard to
Yeah.
get into.
Jeez.
There's not a lot there compared to.
Well, that's a
like
bummer that you
Mexico.
have points, but you won't be able to use it.
Yeah, if
While
you
you're
think
there,
of the
but-
mass pool of people that are in DVC that might want to go to Disneyland,
there's
and then there's only like 50, 58 rooms or something like that at the California
Available.
Grand available, the
Yeah.
odds of getting in there are really hard
You have
unless
to
you
book,
own
like,
there.
A year in advance. Or
Wow.
And then the points there, I could own twice as many points as we have right now. In the cost that it would cost me to buy 100 points there. It's just, they're like $250, $270 a point
I mean,
over there
they
compared
are
to my $100 a point on
They are building
in Florida.
another DVC tower at the Disneyland
So
Hotel.
it doesn't go as far.
There's gonna be like 300 rooms there, but
Yeah.
right now
Oh,
they have
cool.
like 50.
I'm sure
rooms,
that's a couple
it.
years out.
Yeah, they're still
Yeah.
working on it.
So
Yeah, it'll be a while
Dang.
before it's done.
Yeah.
We've gotten in there
Well,
once
yeah.
during construction. we scooted in there
Yeah.
once. Got a wait list come through. So I'm on there. We'll see what happens if we get our wait list.
Right.
But
And that's April.
yeah, so we have a backup plan just in case. But hey, any of the family want to come down and
Yeah, I have
hang
no idea
out
where we're
and
going to
see
be in
her
April.
do that.
But yeah, I mean,
14th through the 18th.
this is going off the track here a little bit of the podcast, but
Yeah,
in April, I have no idea where we'll
Yeah.
be at. So, we could be in St. George, which, isn't that far away from Southern California, or we could be
Mhm.
who knows where. So, have to see where we're at in April. That'd be fun to even just go down for a day.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on. It was fun
Yeah.
to dissect the trip, and I'm like, when we first did it, it was so fresh, and I was telling everybody what we did, and it was, and now it's, been a few weeks. And I'm like, geez, what did we do after that? And
So yeah,
anyway.
But
we were.
you had some good tips, Jake. So I'm
did.
glad you brought
You
that
did.
stuff up because those were some good tips to.
Yeah,
to share
sometimes
with
it takes a
everybody.
while for us to put these together when we want to do them, and you start forgetting stuff if you don't write it down.
Right.
So you have to check out the one we just did with Roger that we just recorded yesterday, because he did 4 parks in one day,
Right.
and he had a
Jeez.
whole
So they had,
scavenger
like,
Did he-
list of
did
things
he
had
enjoyed
to
it?
do. They had a good time, but he says
Yeah.
we didn't make it easy where you just go into the park and have to hit 4 parks. No, he had like a list of 10 things that they had to do in each park.
Jeez.
So it's like find a
You're just
pin,
scrambling.
kiss in a romantic spot, ride something you've never ridden, eat a sweet, eat a savory. They had all these different things they had to do in each
Right.
park.
Did they make up this scavenger hunt?
Yeah. So
Oh,
they made
cool.
it
Yeah,
up
they
themselves.
figured out what are we going to do in each park
It
to
was
try
cute.
to accomplish, and they were able to do it. But
Yeah.
and that's why I asked him, like, was it stressful or was it enjoyable? He goes, it was enjoyable because it kind of gave him it was a
Something
different experience
Yeah.
for the day, and it gave him something fun to do. To try
Yeah.
to
It was a
accomplish,
challenge.
If that was your only day, it would be,
It'd
but
be
I'm sure he was
different.
there.
Right. I
for
mean,
a
they
little
were there.
while.
They were there for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
were there
exactly.
for a
So then
while.
it's like-
if that was your only day,
Yeah.
you might not
Yeah.
want to do that. But,
I told Rob we should do that on one day when we're there.
but if you're going to be there for a week or something like that, then it could be a fun thing to do.
Mhm. Just
Yeah.
to try it.
So, anywho, thanks, Jacob, for being on. I wish Sophia could have been on with us, but she's a busy girl.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, she's just finishing up work, so
She could get
I'll see
on
her in a
and
little
just
bit,
do a
but-
whole thing on performance on
Well,
Ariel and her show.
that would be
and
fun to do.
yeah, it could
an
even just,
episode
even if
that
it's
way.
kind of a shorter, even if it's a
a
shorter
little
episode or
30-minute
whatever. But
bloop,
I mean,
whatever. Yeah.
she's been
Yeah.
doing that show. What it's been like, what it was like to get on the show, and then the experience she had with the show. It'd be nice to have her on. We could talk about that. I'm sure people would like to
Yeah.
hear that.
and we could do
So-
a Universal episode too, even though it's off Disney a little bit. But yeah, we could do that.
That's all right.
After next month
I
too.
think that
So
would be interesting. So, all
and just
right,
comparing
Jacob.
and contrasting too. So
Yeah.
all right, guys.
All right, Jacob. We'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and have a great week. We'll see you later.
Bye bye.